Hello, hello. Bl'Artagnan here, bringing you the Power of Wisdom, Queen Event Lufenia, featuring the strong beasts. Oof, frightening. We're bringing a team of Golbez, Strago, and Ashe. I'm very excited to use all three of these units. Before we begin, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps me in terms of supporting the channel and helping it grow, letting it reach more people, and it means a lot to me. Leave a comment down below sharing the team you used for this fight and what you thought of it. I'd like to hear from you. Kicking things off pretty aggressively with a Golbez B tier here. While I go through the usual rotation, using that free skill 1 off the EX, I'll also remind you that you can catch myself, Raw Life, and Type Zoe every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. I'll leave a link to that in the description for the live stream. Our weekly live stream, in which we discuss DFFOO and DFFOO news, DFFOO gameplay, and just generally have a good time. Look forward to seeing you there. So that was a much earlier burst than I usually use in fights like these. Reason being, this recast is a nasty piece of work. They cleanse before they do it. It's a big ol' hit. From what I can tell, they get a quick turn if they break you, from the looks of it or something. Deals a bunch of damage normally, and they have to do it, otherwise they get a massive HP shield, similar to Alexander, where they just don't take damage until they act. So I figured, let's let them get that recast off. Luckily, Golbez BT is here to make sure that it doesn't matter that they cleanse, they're still not gaining Brave. Kind of a small solace, because I've been quietly bemoaning the fact that Golbez BT Plus got relatively shallow upgrades. It's nice to see cases where the defensive component that it provides can really just help you out like that. Anyway, for the rest of this fight, we have Strago, who is absolutely bonkers in triple enemy fights, as you're about to see. That was like, what, 450,000 damage when half of his attacks were basically eaten by their threshold shield thing. And lastly, we have Ashe, who I've been having a lot of fun using as well, as an enchanter and as a turn manipulator. Not to mention a supportive, party booster with her auras and junk. We are once again letting them attack us here. We're not trying to push them back yet, because we're taking advantage of that BT effect and letting them do their strong blow attack. A lot of strong stuff going on with these beasts. Dropping in the Kurasame call on them. Just the level 1 call. I actually forgot to use Soul of Thamasa there. I was saving the LDs for later in the fight, and because of Ashe's speed passive, the Strago's EX wasn't up in time. So, it's all good. We have Axe Sephiroth here. Weapon skins, Jesus. To help us out by providing some turn control. The orb here is interesting. It is an HP regen orb that goes up by +1 every time you regen HP, so it just stays where it's at. Similar to the Bahamut summon fight when Kuja LD dropped. It also goes up by +15 or something if you delay one of them by 3 turns, so Cloud of Darkness. Luckily, that isn't entirely necessary, because they're not super duper tanky, and again, Strago kind of melts 3 targets fights, as you're going to be seeing here. Spamming up my Quasars, trying to take advantage of the Sephiroth break effect. Again, trying to save as many LDs as I can for after the BT effect is gone, so that I can take advantage of the rebreaks that gives. As you saw, this is far from a 0 boss turn fight, but it's kind of a 0 boss interaction fight in a way. Here's our first Grand Delta. Dropping paralysis on them. We have Arciello, you saw me drop there. I was planning on HP silencing them if it came down to it. I kind of overdid it in terms of the boss lockdown. Sephiroth BT is a funny friend unit to bring, because it really doesn't amp your damage up that much, but it pushes the enemy back so much during the course of it that it just feels a bit goofy. It does feel good to be able to use Sephiroth as a friend unit, like, now that he's got his LD board extensions, because previously using it, you bring him in for this cool BT effect, but like the actual turns were kind of meh. Now he can spam his LD and hit like a truck, and it actually feels good. You love to see it. So, thinking about it, I'm going to go into Summon. I know this wastes the Paralyze that we dropped from Ashe's EX, but I think it's worth it. This is going to help us continue pushing them back. Get us another break bonus, give Sephiroth a bit more brave before we hit that last launch. Silly. But yeah, reading about what this fight entailed, I assumed it was going to be a lot more brutal than it was. And the recast is pretty tricky to get around. You need some pretty specific things because of how it ignores HP damage mitigation and hits like a truck. But it's completely doable. With, you know, things like a Golbez, or people are doing things with, like, you know, Warrior of Light or 9 shields, or Camelot Base Call apparently is actually quite helpful for mitigating it. So it's really cool to see the creativity folks are bringing out. So you can see here, using Ashe's turn manipulation to recharge Golbez EX, and Strago's EX as well. At this point, we're going to go ahead and start relying on that. Are we going to rely on that? Yeah, we're going to start relying on that there paralyzed to give him a turn. Golbez hitting for 600,000 on his LD. Pretty cool. And I keep saying, talking about how good Strago is in 3-target fights. Look at this. This late in the fight, that's just shy of 900,000 damage there. You'll have to see it. Not much more to talk about here. We're just, at this point, hitting them as hard as we can. I think we have another Ashe turn manipulation jump thing lined up, and that's going to close this out for us. Yeah, no, this fight was I mean, as always, it's fun to be able to bring your favorites. So I'm glad that I blued Strago, glad that I blued Golbez, and Ashe is really starting to earn her keep for me. Maybe I should consider bluing her at this point. Goodness. Alright. The bosses actually do have some other mechanics. I might try rerunning the stage and seeing which of them I actually end up encountering, because we kind of nuked these guys down. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Adios.